what can you tell us without, breaking Warner Brothers' contract?
Right. Well, thank you for asking. Look, you're talking to 50% of the Ninja Turtles, so I know all about action figures, merchandising, and Ninja Turtles, according to Kevin Eastman, the last he heard that the fairly accurate number of Ninja Turtles merchandise to date is about 6 billion gross.
Good Lord.
It's a lot of action figures.
Yeah.
But in this context of Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, I mean, you can find Pinky and the Brain t-shirts and Animaniacs coffee mugs, and there will be a lot more of it, of course, because of the reboot coming November 20th on Hulu. But nothing compared to SpongeBob or Ninja Turtles or My Little Pony, because it's not about that.
Yeah.
That's what's so wonderful about Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain and the reboot, is that the shows are being rebooted by the man himself for their own sake.
Yeah.
Because what has captured the imagination of, like I said, an exponentially larger fan base worldwide now, 25 years later, is the scripts, the execution, the animation, the music, the melding of it all at a really high level. Those shows are utterly relatable, even though the zeitgeist has changed. We no longer have Bill Clinton playing the sax, at least not in the context of Animaniacs, but the shows were so well done, just like Bugs. Bugs is what, 70 or 80?
Yeah.
We can watch Bugs Bunny from the late 40s, 50s, 60s and laugh our asses off. And that's not too dissimilar to Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. So that's what's so beautiful about the reboot. And right off the bat, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are self-aware. They know that it's been 25 years. And even in the theme song, I heard and saw for the first time a couple weeks ago the new opening title theme. And it's still the same tune. It's time for Animaniacs, right? But the lyrics have changed, and they echo the self-awareness. And what's going to be so great is hearing people and watching people online going, "Oh my God, it went by so fast, but now I've played it, and oh my God, I've slowed it down. This is what the lyrics are. Oh, that's freaking genius." And it is. It's really smart. The new showrunner is Wellesley Wild, who was Seth's right-hand guy at Family Guy and co-producer of the Ted movies. So if you want somebody that knows about subversive humor, we're good.
Love it.
And the choice to do that by Mr. Spielberg, by the way, was not an aspersion on Tom Ruegger and the writers who were the reason we're talking today. Like I said, I don't draw them and I don't write them. Those writers won Emmys, and Tom Ruegger has, I don't know, a room full of them for obvious reasons. But the choice to bring in a new showrunner was the same reason that I think they hired folks who had proven themselves 25 years ago on Tiny Toons or other similar shows. Now we have a fellow running it under Mr. Spielberg who has proven himself with Family Guy and Ted. And, if you help Seth sign a $200 million deal, you're worth a look.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you, having been there years ago, having had a tangential heartbreak, knowing that the 4 original voice actors are back, but not Mr. Ruegger and his profoundly gifted staff. But I also know that it's show business, and the choice they made in Wellesley Wild was spot on. They really nailed it. Ultimately, it is not about anything but whether or not you guys like it. We're pretty blown away. I have to say that the number of times that we look at each other and go, holy shit, these kids are really, they get it.
Yeah.
But also remember, they're referencing hip cultural references now that I don't even understand. I've had to have things explained to me. There's a lot of trust that goes into it because the cultural references and the lampooning of same that are the hallmarks of Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain have nothing to do with me. They have to do with the writing. So I understand the logic of hiring people who are in that realm. It's not an aspersion on who got us here. It's understanding that if we want to have the same effect on this audience, and the bar is pretty fucking high, right? It makes sense to hire people to run it and to write it who are from this time culturally,
right?
Just like they were 25 years ago. That's a generation. Steven Spielberg, don't bet against him. He doesn't know what every cultural reference is in. Part of his genius is knowing whom to hire and turning them loose. That's pretty smart. It's not about his ego. It's no. I know who can write this, right?
Yeah.
Same with me. Can you still do it, Rob? Well, Steven sees me singing Animaniacs music with an 80-piece orchestra at my age and says, holy shit, he can do this just fine. But I don't write them. So I say, what is this? And they kind of chuckle and say, okay, well, here's the video of what we're talking about. And there's a video of it with 8 million views that I've never seen. But
Right.
That's what they're lampooning. So you see my point. They hire people and have hired people who know whom to or what to lampoon and how to do it, just like 25 years ago. So while I understand the concern of an audience, they did it right. Ultimately, what I think doesn't matter. We live in a time in which you will be able to watch your favorite episode of Animaniacs from 1998 or 9 when the show was dwindling down or whatever, whenever, the first episode, I don't care. And literally 30 seconds later, punch a button and watch a brand new episode of Animaniacs with a 25-year gap. And that has never happened. Not in my career, and certainly not with an animated reboot that I know of, where they hire back the 5 main characters, 4 main actors, because they know the popularity of what we do when we go to meet people. So they know that. Steven knows that.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers knows that. Amblin knows that. Hulu knows that. So they were smart to bring us back, I think. But I think Mr. Spielberg, in his genius, said, okay, let's get a collection. People half my age, who do you look to? Oh, let me see his work. Oh, okay. Let's bring these half a dozen guys and girls in and we'll talk to them. Because he knows he doesn't know it all.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking for him, but I would submit that he has that in check. He's smart enough to know that he may not know the best person to do this for the best reaction. And he has at his disposal everybody in the world, showbiz-wise, who could give him advice.
Yeah.
And he took it. And boy, they picked the right people. There are 2 seasons in the can, and all of them will record with us all together.
Oh, great.
So I believe we'll get picked up for more. And here we are 25 years later, that a show had that much of an impact on an audience, and the audience is now exponentially larger, due in no small part to nice people like you, to the extent that Steven Spielberg wants to do it again.
Yeah.
I really was right for one time in my career. I picked it. That was the show to get. So, yeah, lottery winner, baby.
Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.